What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning this weekend's title fight at 126 pounds between champion Rafael Espinoza and the challenger Edward Vasquez. Guys, before I continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, could you please hit subscribe? My YouTube analytics are telling me that close to 75% of you guys who watch my content haven't done this yet. Also, please like this video and go down to the bottom of your screen right now where the bell notification button is. Hit that so you can be notified every time I put something out that's new. Thank you. All right, guys, we have an upcoming huge weekend in boxing on the channel this week. You're going to want to stay close because I'm going to be covering 3 separate cards. We're going to be covering the Canelo card in Riyadh. We're going to obviously be covering the Ryan Garcia and Raleigh card in New York City. And we're going to start with this card in Las Vegas, the Naoya Inoue card. But this is the co-feature, a world title fight at 126 pounds between the champion Rafael Espinoza and the challenger Edward Vasquez. Guys, if you're unfamiliar with Vasquez, this is the same guy. He's 17-2. He's only has 4 knockouts. Doesn't have a lot of pop on his punch, but the guy could box. He could easily be undefeated. He lost a split decision to Raymond Ford, and all I'm going to tell you is to go look at those scorecards. Everybody who watched that fight, a lot of people would have said that was Vasquez's fight. He won one, and then he went on to lose another majority decision to Joe Cordina. So this is a guy who, at 29 years old, he's getting the opportunity of a lifetime against Espinoza. He's going to be the shorter fighter. He's an orthodox fighter. Like I said, he has the skill set, he has the speed, and it's going to be interesting to see what game plan he goes in against Espinoza. With the champion, this guy is a 31-year-old, 6'1" featherweight. And if you've never seen him fight before, mate, watch his highlight reel. He'll quickly become one of your favorite fighters. At 126 pounds, he's a knockout artist. He put himself on the map a few years back when he beat 2-time gold medal Olympian Robeisy Ramirez, who was the champion, who was a huge favorite. And Espinoza in this fight showed everything the boxing world loves about a fighter. He got dropped in the 5th round. He got stunned multiple times. He was on wobbly legs, but he used his aggression, his height, his range, and his willingness to exchange in the pocket to beat Robeisy Ramirez by majority decision to become the world champion. He then fought him again this past December and made him quit in the 6th round. And this is a guy who has momentum. He's in the prime of his career. When you watch his style, he could fight you at range, but he also loves a dogfight. In typical Mexican style, he has cardio for days, and he wants to force you into a dogfight, and he did this to Robeisy twice. If you know anything about Robeisy Ramirez, this guy's world class. He does all of the little things well. He's flashy, and when you watch how Espinoza beat him, he drowned him. This is a guy who uses his pressure against his opponents on angles. There's no time to reset. Every time Robeisy would get off a smooth little counter or nice exchange, he kept landing these big hooks, and he would try to exit and reset. Espinoza shortens the gap and doesn't give you time, and he drowns you. Like I said, he does this thing with his jab. He frames his jab at range, sort of like a rangefinder, and when you're in the pocket, he uses it to cut distance, but then lead into his lead hook and lead uppercut. And by doing that, having the 6'1" height advantage against everyone at 126 pounds, he uses that leverage to either punch down with his lead hand, or he also favors his uppercuts. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about how each fighter is going to go about their business in terms of winning this title. Also, we're going to remind everybody about who each fighter is, and stay tuned to the end of the video because, like always, we're going to talk about where Las Vegas has the odds, and I'll be giving you my prediction. Let's get into this. So right now, let's start a little bit about what's going on in Las Vegas with this co-feature. Guys, all the attention around Rafael Espinoza lately has been tied to the grandest of plans, focusing on what he will do in the future, whether it's unifying the featherweight division, moving up for a crack at Emmanuel Navarrete and a thrilling all-Mexico matchup, or waiting patiently for current undisputed junior featherweight king Naoya Inoue to come to him. What others are overlooking is the here and now. specifically Espinosa's May 4th Cinco de Mayo weekend showdown with Edward Vazquez. Espinosa, 26-0 with 22 knockouts, though, has his eyes fixed on what's immediately in front of him, and I quote, "Edward Vazquez is a great fighter. He's going to come with everything," said Espinosa, the 31-year-old WBO title holder from Guadalajara, Mexico. "We chose him because we know it would make for an exciting fight. I'm treating Vasquez as if he were an unbeaten champion. That's how I'm taking things in my preparation, and that will ensure I don't come in overconfident. Also, I know that it's a huge opportunity for him, so he will come in the best shape possible." Vasquez, who's 17-2 with 4 knockouts, is a respectable but light-hitting fighter with a resume completely devoid of signature wins. He fought Raymond Ford in 2022 and Joe Cordina in 2023 in his most significant matchups to date, losing both by split decision and majority decision respectively. A win next weekend at Las Vegas' T-Mobile Arena would be a career maker for Vasquez, a 29-year-old from Fort Worth, Texas, while potentially scuttling all the big plans for Espinosa. "The only thing on my mind is Edward Vasquez and defeating him on May 4th, Espinosa said, but at the same time, I'd like to show the Japanese people that I'm also ready for Inoue. That kind of fight would help me become one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world." Already, it can be argued Espinosa is close. That the Vasquez fight will serve as the co-feature to Inoue Ramon Cardenas on the card is no coincidence. Both Inoue and Espinosa are looking for big money, legacy-making blockbuster fights, but each must keep winning in the meantime to maintain the luster on any potential matchup between the two in the future. "This is an important fight for me," Espinosa said. "At the same time, I don't like to predict knockouts or tell people how the fight will end. I'm simply going to do my job. If the knockout comes, then great. Either way, I'm scoring a win for the people." All right, guys, going into this matchup, we know Vasquez is going to be a huge underdog. Top Rank put this card together with Espinosa as the co-headliner under Inoue, so that people could see this potential blockbuster. They did this with intention, and this is why boxing fans are excited about this matchup and this fight card. So right now, I want to take a closer look at Edward Vasquez, the challenger, and see what he's been up to. Guys, Edward Vasquez is 17-2 with 4 knockouts. He carries into the ring a 24% career knockout to win ratio. He's currently ranked in the super featherweight division at 130 pounds at 70. The American's a 29-year-old orthodox fighter standing at 5'7" with a 65-inch reach, and his adoring fans know him as the Kid. We last saw him fight Kenneth Taylor, 14-3, finished him in the 4th. Daniel Bailey, 13-1, UD in the 8th. Joe Cordina, 16-0, lost majority decision in the 12th. Brian DeGracia, 29-2, UD in the 10th. Guys, in 2022, when he lost a very close split decision to Raymond Ford, which a lot of people thought that he won, after that, he went on to win 4 fights in a row, and then he met with Cordina and lost a majority decision. So his only 2 losses are to close decisions. Like I told you in his record, he's not going to knockout artist. He doesn't have pop in his hands. He's not a big puncher, but he's a good boxer. He knows how to score points, and he knows how to win rounds. The interesting thing with this matchup is obviously going to be that height disadvantage. Will he be able to get past Espinosa's jab? Will he be smart enough to not allow Espinosa to lure him into that dogfight? Because if he does that, it's not going to be a long night for Vasquez. And what Vasquez is going to want to do, similar to what Espinosa did going into the first Robeisy Ramirez fight, when Espinosa was the huge underdog and he shocked the world, Vasquez is going to want to do the same thing. Now let's take a closer look at his opponent, the champion, Rafael Espinoza. Guys, Espinosa is 26-0 with 22 knockouts. He carries into the ring an 85% career knockout to win ratio, and out of 1,805 featherweights in the world, he's ranked number 3. He is the WBO World Featherweight Champion. His adoring fans know him as El Divino, and the 31-year-old Mexican's an orthodox fighter standing at 6'1" with a 74-inch reach. He resides from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. We last saw him fight Robeisy Ramirez, 14-2. Stoppage in the 6th. Sanchez, 22-1, stoppage in the 4th. Robeisy Ramirez the first time, 13-1, majority decision in the 12th. Merengue, 12-6, knockout in the 2nd. Guys, his record will tell you 26-0, 22 knockouts. He is a knockout artist. What I want to tell you, if you're unfamiliar with Espinosa, this guy is on the cusp of the pound-for-pound rankings. In a division where we don't see many guys as a knockout artist, he is that guy. He has the range and the height advantage almost all of his opponents, and having that leverage of being able to punch down, it just creates a certain velocity on his punches, which allows him to get his opponents out of there. But what he also likes doing is, as he cuts that range of distance, he punches up by using his brutal uppercuts. When people ask me about how good he is, I always point them to that aforementioned first Robeisy Ramirez fight when he was the big underdog and he won a majority decision, because we love undefeated fighters. We love guys who are unblemished. But one of my favorite things about fighters when we watch them either lose or we watch them overcome adversity. In this case, he didn't lose the fight, but he got dropped in the 5th round of the first Robeisy fight, and he got hurt multiple times. After the first knockdown in the 5th, I thought the ref was going to call it. He gets dropped. He got caught being cute. He fell into Robeisy Ramirez's game plan, and he started switching stances. And in one of his stance switches, he goes from ortho to Southie. When he was switching back from Southie to ortho, Robeisy caught him in that exchange and landed a huge hook. But when he dropped Espinoza, his legs were so wobbly. As he stands up, he collapses into the ropes. The refs gave him a standing 8 count. He was able to overcome this and then recovered, and throughout the rest of the fight, forced Robeisy to fight him in his fight in the middle, and he eventually wore him down and won the mid to later rounds and was hurting Robeisy. And this is why, as a huge underdog, he became the world champion. He hasn't let that title go yet, and he has no plans of letting it go anytime soon. Right now, let's take a closer look to see where Las Vegas has the money and where the gamblers are betting. Guys, I'm down here in Australia. My book I use is Sportsbet, so if you're an Aussie, let's pull those apps out. All right, guys, because it's the beginning of the week, the method of victory bets aren't out yet. So what I'm going to tell you right now, and this is kind of a new feature on the channel, the last few weeks, if you've been paying attention, my Friday mornings, you Americans, your Thursday evenings, we've been doing YouTube live streams with professional boxing bettor Muscle Brown. So moving forward, I'm going to leave all my method of victory betting options and prop bets for that live stream. So moving forward, every breakdown, I'm just going to tell you the money line odds and where I'm leaning. Moneyline Espinosa is $1.09. $100 gets you your money plus $9 back. 26 to 1 on the draw. Vasquez, big underdog, $8.50, meaning 100, gets you your money back plus $750. When I look at these guys side by side, Espinosa is one of these fighters similar to Seb Fundora or his sister Gabby. You can't talk about the breakdown without talking about their height and the reach advantage. The thing Espinosa does really well, which I feel is going to be a huge benefit for him against the smaller Vasquez, is he uses his range to cut distance. He uses his jab to enter the pocket. He really never does either one of those blind, and he forces his opponent to stay there. His aggression, his pace, and his cardio are also 3 attributes that he uses to drown his opponents. Thus a 26-0 record with 22 knockouts. Vasquez on his resume, he has more pro rounds. I mean, Joe Cordina and Raymond Ford versus Espinosa, in my opinion, those two guys aren't Rafael Espinoza. This is Vasquez's biggest step up in opposition. It's also his biggest opportunity. My prediction going into this fight, I just feel Espinosa is too much for Vasquez. That reach, that height, that power, and just his style and willingness to get hurt, to hurt his opponent. I feel this guy is on a trajectory for the top pound for pound list. Also, I think in the future, if all the cards play themselves out right, we're going to see a Rafael Espinosa versus Nelia Inoue fight at 126, and I don't think that's too far from the now. Hopefully both guys get victories, because I would really love to see the monster versus Espinosa. Guys, in the comment section below, this is not an echo chamber. Do you think the champion Espinosa is going to keep his belt, or do you think Vasquez is going to shock the world and we're going to hear and new? Let me know all that in the comment section below.